What if I told you that some of the people responsible for putting Americans on the moon once worked for Hitler? After World War II, the United States faced a terrifying question. Should enemy scientists be punished or recruited before the Soviet Union captured them first? Because the men who knew the most about advanced rockets in 1945 weren't American. They were German. And one man stood above the rest: Wernher von Braun. Long before NASA existed, von Braun dreamed of sending humans into space. But during World War II, he became one of the lead engineers behind the V-2 rocket, the world's first long-range ballistic missile. The rockets struck cities like London with almost no warning and became some of the most feared weapons of the war. But there was a darker side. Many V-2 rockets were built using forced labor from concentration camp prisoners, where thousands died under horrific conditions, which creates one of the strangest contradictions in modern history. The same technology that would later help humans reach space was born inside Nazi Germany's war machine. And as the war came to an end, both the United States and the Soviet Union realized something important. Whoever captured Germany's rocket scientists might control the future. So the United States launched Operation Paperclip. Its goal was simple: bring Germany's top scientists to America before the Soviets could recruit them. And despite controversy surrounding their Nazi connections, the US government decided their knowledge was too valuable to ignore. Hundreds of German scientists and engineers were secretly brought to the United States, including Wernher von Braun. At first, many worked on military missile programs, but soon their focus shifted towards space. Then, in 1957, the Soviet Union shocked the world by launching Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite in history. Americans panicked, because if the Soviets could launch a satellite into orbit, they could potentially launch nuclear weapons across the planet. The United States suddenly felt behind, and soon after, America created NASA. Many of the former German rocket scientists became deeply involved in the American space program, including von Braun himself. Over time, he transformed into one of the most recognizable faces of America's space effort. He appeared on television, worked on public space projects, and helped design the massive Saturn V rocket, the most powerful rocket NASA had ever built. Then came 1969, Apollo 11 moon landing. Millions of people watched as humanity prepared to step onto the moon for the very first time. And behind that achievement was Wernher von Braun, the same engineer who once helped develop rockets for Nazi Germany had now helped build the machine that carried astronauts to the moon. It remains one of the most morally complicated stories in modern history. A technology born during war became part of one of humanity's greatest achievements. And even today, people still debate whether Operation Paperclip was justified. Did the United States compromise its principles for scientific advantage? Or was recruiting those scientists necessary to keep the Soviet Union from dominating missile and space technology during the Cold War? There still isn't a simple answer, because history is rarely simple. The story of NASA isn't just about astronauts and moon landings. It's also about war, fear, politics, and the uncomfortable decisions nations make when power is at stake. And maybe the strangest part of all is that one of humanity's greatest achievements may never have happened without scientists who once worked for one of history's most evil regimes. So the next time you watch footage of the moon landing, remember this: the road to the moon didn't begin with NASA. Part of it began in Nazi Germany.